Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the channel, Hebrew Jamaican Coley. I'm here with my wife Ashley as usual. And in today's Bible study, we want to talk about, current events. Before we even get into current events, I just want to say this. Do you guys see what is actually taking place? Do you see the rapid decline of Edom? Do you see the rapid decline of Babylon? Are you guys actually paying attention to what is going on right now? Before we even get into the other topics, there's a video I want to show you from TikTok, right? I want to show you my video from TikTok in which I had a dream, and as soon as I woke up, I told the dream to, the people on TikTok. And the thing about it is that I've had this dream for years. And I've done videos about this type of dream for years, in which ever since 2004, 2005, I've been talking about a dream in which, you know, planes just are falling out of the sky. And during that time, there's this best friend I had, and all we would talk about were things like the Mahabharata. And if you don't know what the Mahabharata is, you need to look it up, right? The Mahabharata talks about devices, and the Mahabharata is extremely ancient text. And it talks about an ancient war and things like that. And it talks about a Vimana. And I remember a couple years ago when Obama was in the office, and people were talking about how he found a device that was known as the Vimana. For those of you who don't know what a Vimana is, it was mentioned in the Mahabharata as like a device where one of the generals that was riding on the Vimana was able to. It was like a device in which he used it to destroy his enemies, and it was a device that basically I don't remember. It was like, let me look it up. Vimana. Look up the Vimana. What the Vimana was.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Sorry. Yeah, I could just probably leave it there. Vimana. Yeah, yeah, that's it. The Vimana. Mythology. Well, it was mentioned in the Mahabharata, right? Vimana are magical fine palaces or chariots described in Hindu texts and Sanskrit epics. The whatever it is. Anyway, he was riding on the Vimana and he was over the sea, and he basically, when he fired the Vimana, it basically obliterated his enemies. And how they explain the obliteration is basically nuke. He nuked his enemies with the Vimana. So, this is something, see the Mahabharata, this is what I was talking about. Flying chariot was granted to him by Indra, who was pleased with him. This chariot enabled him to wander above all mortals. See? But anyway, remember when a lot of people were talking about when Obama sent his soldiers, I don't remember when they're sending them, must say Iraq or one of these places, because they found the they found the Vimana, right?
I um
They found the Vimana. And because of that now, it just seemed like all eerie and stuff like that. But anyway, let me get into this video. Let me get into this video about what I'm talking about in terms of having this dream about, where we were at the time. So,
I dreamed that my wife and I were somewhere with a lot of children, and then all of a sudden, like planes were dropping out of the sky. Military helicopters were just dropping out of the sky. I mean, like just literally they were flying and then they just fell out of the sky. as if they were hit by an EMP pulse. And
Let me pause it right there. Did you hear what I said in the video? Planes were dropping out of the sky. Military, I said military helicopters, because I remember, like I said before, the reason why I told this dream to TikTok is because I did not want to forget it. I did not want to forget this dream. And I spoke about it and I said that planes, and I was specific when I said this, because these were things that I was able to detail in my dream. And the reason, and I always believe that the reason why I'm able to detail these things in my dreams is because it's supposed to be specific for me to remember it. You understand? Military helicopters were falling out of the sky in that dream. Military helicopters, which means that America was probably under attack or something else. They were just dropping, like in Jamaica would say, when they drop like a ripe breadfruit because when a ripe breadfruit drops out of the tree, it just, it's a hard drop. It's like a rock dropping out of a tree. So anytime somebody drop down in Jamaica and say, yo, my youth, you drop like a ripe breadfruit, my youth, it's a hard drop. So in that dream, like military helicopters and planes were just like dropping straight down out of the sky. You understand? So let's go to the DC crash, right? And this was done on the 17th of December. This was on the 17th of December. You understand? And now this is the DC crash that happened about 2 days ago, right? With planes dropping out of the sky. With planes dropping out of the sky, right? And then yesterday, right? I'm not gonna go to the Philadelphia one. Let's go to the
into a building near an airport in California. At least 2 people were killed. This is the aftermath after a plane crashed into a building near an airport in California. At least 2 people were killed and a dozen were injured, including workers inside the building. The cause of the crash is still unknown.
These crashes are happening and people don't know why so many.
We began eyewitness.
What's happening with all these aircrafts that's dropping out of the sky? And they're all small. What's happening with these aircrafts dropping out of the sky? And they're all the aircraft that was hit, though, that was mainly a commercial aircraft. That was a commercial aircraft. All right. So we're seeing 2 crashes so far, and I saw another crash on the 28th as well. The 28th of January. So I'm not saying that these things don't happen. I'm just talking about the frequency by which these things are happening. The frequency by which these things are happening. That's what I'm talking about. Right? Let's go to Philadelphia now. We live in Philadelphia. We live on the Germantown side. Right? That's basically in the close to the west, southwest. No, just west. Well, yeah, just west. Right? And look at this airplane. Like, I'm gonna rewind the video. Look at that. Look at that. What does that look like? An airplane that's actually like crashing straight down?
It looks like something struck it. It doesn't look.
It looked like something struck it. Right? Again, let's go over the video again. Look at that. Look at that plane. Look at that plane just dropping, like it just dropped. Okay, the reason why I'm saying all these things is this, right? And people who are in aviation probably can correct me. But I've been on a tandem flight before. And I'm gonna prove that to you. See? This is me. Let me enlarge the photo. right? So you can see, sorry, it's not enlarging the photo. Let me see. Let me see if I can enlarge the photo. So, all right. This is me, right? Going on a tandem flight. All right. This is me going on a tandem flight. And this is me. You can see that this is me right here. This is the instructor. If you don't know what a tandem flight is, a tandem flight is basically you just, it's kind of like a tandem sky jump. You pay and you strap yourself to the main instructor and they basically take you through it. Of course, I had the opportunity to fly, and then I wanted to get some lessons afterwards. But if you don't have whatever it is, you have to have a citizenship in order to get your flying you know. So I'm gonna go through this video and then I'm gonna explain a couple of stuff afterwards. Let me see if this is when we're taking off. All right, so that was in Pennsylvania. That was about I did that about 2015, 2016. And the instructor, he allowed me to kind of pull up on the throttle and lift the plane off myself. Um, I'm gonna go through another video now, and then I'm gonna explain a couple of stuff afterwards because I know a lot of aviation people are basically looking at what's going on. A lot of aviation people are look at what's going on with these planes that are just crashing, and they're basically saying that the stories that we're getting are practically BS, and I know why. Because I'm going to say this in a couple of minutes. I'm going to tell you people in a couple of minutes why I'm going to tell you why it's BS. And it's because of what this tandem instructor said to me and what he did. Right? It's important. I'm going to get to it for you people. It's important. All right. So the reason why I say that plane was either hit by EMP pulse, or even if it was hit by EMP pulse, it would have still be able to land differently than how it landed, is because even when a plane's engines are turned off, that plane is able to basically coast. You understand? It's able to kind of glide, but you'd still have to, the controls may be minimal, but you'd have to find an open field to land in. But it would not nosedive. We've come so far in aviation that if your engines are off, you're able to not nosedive. And that's the point I'm making. Because in the middle of that flight, we didn't take that video at that point in time, but in the middle of the flight, that's the question I asked him. I asked the instructor, what would happen if the engines were to shut off and stuff? And you know what he did? He shut the engine, he shut it off. And he showed me. So that's how I know that there is no way that aircraft is going to crash like that into the ground unless it was hit by something. There's no way it's going to crash into the ground that fast too unless it was hit by something. You understand? We've had 3 or 4 plane crashes. There was one on the 28 that I didn't look up yet. That's what I was saying. There's a crash on the 28 that happened. But the point I'm trying to make is this. is that there is something happening in Babylon, in Edom, and we're just not paying attention to it. We're so desensitized to the sensationalism of what's going on, is that we're always looking for the next hit.
Pill, blue pill.
Red pill, blue pill. We're looking for the next hit. Oh, yo, what's gonna happen next? It's like a drug hit right now in terms of the sensations of what's going on. Everybody's like, yo, what's going on? See, look at this guy. He said left to me. This is a drone attack, not a plane crash. Where does a paraffin powered plane got such a high level of explosion? Well, people were aboard that. I believe the drone attacked the plane, but I don't believe that it's a drone itself. You understand? And in the day and age that we're in at this point in time, certainly people may have control over vehicles even if you're in it. And like I said before, no plane is just gonna crash like it. Look at it again. Look at it again. Look at it again. Look how it's crashing. Look at that. That's a straight down trajectory. That's a straight down trajectory. There's no way a plane is gonna go down like that unless he pushes the controls down. And it's still too like, I don't know. It's like the angle of it is too downward. Even when I was in that tandem thing and the guy pushed the controls downward, it did not turn down like that. It's too downward. It's almost as if the controls of it was hit directly, and it is like the way it was hit, it just like fell out of the sky.
And it looked like it got hit from high up because you didn't see from that angle. You don't see any smoke or anything like that.
Right.
You just see that little plane coming down and then a big boom once it hit the ground. But you don't see any smoke. So I'm assuming it happened very, very, very high up.
Mhm. It has to happen very high up because remember they're transporting people. They can't fly close. But you remember all of this week I've been complaining about planes
Helicopters.
and helicopters flying low to the house that we since inauguration, planes and helicopters have been flying low to the house. And I'm like, why are these things happening? Why are they flying so low to the house? I'm like, every day I say, yo, one of these days them gonna crash. Because they're flying too low, they're gonna crash into these high-rise buildings. Cause remember, what downtown Philly is filled with what? High-rise buildings, and the airport is past downtown Philly. So most of them have to. So I'm surprised that they haven't crashed into downtown because they're flying. Okay, people, when I say they're flying low, right? Of course, planes have to come down low when they're about to land. But the thing about it is this. When a plane is so low that you can say to yourself, yo, this sounds like it's right above the
You
house.
can hear the
You can hear the engine go, the whirring of the engine, the of the engine. Then you know that's fundamentally a problem. You understand me? So I want to talk about this. My wife was watching this thing this morning of was it a news reporter or just some YouTuber doing that taco thing?
I think that was it was a YouTuber.
Okay, so you have YouTube white R to the cis people making videos of the deportation and making fun of it. And these people, like, black people, don't get involved with this.
Yes.
Whatever happened, let it happen, but stop getting involved because some of you are turning right into white people. You're turning into people that you hate the most, or the people that you should actually hate the most, which is white people. You understand? Don't get involved. Don't say nothing anymore. with this type of thing. I understand the trauma that you've experienced at these people's hands. So where, instead of siding with you, them go side with white people. And say, but stop getting involved with this and stuff. Stop relishing in the downfall of certain people. I want you people to remember something. A lot of black people take vacations in these people's countries. These people that are being sent home. When talk about the Mexicans, want to take vacation in Mexican countries. When talk about Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and them thing want to take vacation in these countries. Want to take vacations in these countries. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. These people, when they're being sent home, them bank account being taken away from them, the money that they make is being taken away from them, they're going home with nothing. What do you think they're going to feel? How do you think they're going to feel? Right? How do you think they're going to feel? As I've said before, you people cannot think for 5 months in front, not even 5 months, for 2 months in front of your freaking face, a week in front of your face. Right? You people cannot think for 5 months in front of your face. How do you think these people are going to feel? Right? Black people, you already know that we are the least liked wherever we go. Wherever we go, we are the least liked people. These people, when they go home to their country, they're going to be angry. They're going to be upset. You know what they're going to be doing? Linking up with gangs. You know who they're going to come after? Not white people. Or they may start coming after white people. No. They're going to come after you. They're going to come into the resort that you're in. And they're going to do what they're going to do to you. Be careful of the things that you're saying. It may not affect you, but it's going to affect other black people. I can guarantee you that after all this is said and done, people are gonna have to stop traveling. I can guarantee you by next month, by this coming month, you're gonna start hearing about US citizens being mass unalived in these countries as a retaliation. That's why I keep telling you people, stop relishing in it. Stop enjoying it that it's happening because you don't know what's going to be happening next. What's Newsmax?
Yeah, Newsmax reported 8. Taco.
Look at this, people. Look at this. It's quite a pathetic thing, man. It's quite a pathetic thing for this to be happening.
Daddy's a little busy right now, sweetie. Not a bad 7 days. Doge cut $100 million in contracts. Gulf of America, federal workers back in the office, rescinding transgenders in the military, out of the World Health Organization, and his flagship policy, immigration reform, firing on absolute.
You can see the arrogance. You can see the arrogance within these people. You know, they feel, like I said before, they feel like Trump is the great white hope. He come to save them and stuff like that. Brother, Trump can't save you from what the Most High has destined for this land. You hear? Your kingdom is still falling. There's nothing Trump can do for rebuild this. You understand? Even if he's in for the next 4 years, there's nothing he can do for the judgment that is on this land right now, brethren. You understand? You praise the man and listen to me. Where is it where he's eating the taco? I'm looking forward for where he's eating the taco.
What you talking?
Here it is.
Our momentum. This is a man who
He was actually talking.
This is actually really good.
You don't like us, we don't like you. Don't go there. Stay in your country.
See, you see?
Figure it out. Vacation.
Okay, see, what did I just say?
She said.
What did I just say? What did I just say? Didn't I just say that? So even white people, you actually think that your white skin now is going to save you when you're starting to vacation and stuff like that. Now people are going to start saying that, yo, let's stop supporting the tourist industry, because especially with Jamaica too, Jamaica's main source of income is from the tourist industry. You understand? Our GDP is mainly from the tourist industry. You understand? Listen to what this woman
I
is
don't know,
saying.
maybe Nebraska perhaps. One of the red states that you love so much. Stay there. Don't have margaritas, don't have tequila, no tacos, no enchiladas, none of that for you.
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do? Will you come take it out?
You said arrogance.
Yeah.
Do you see? Oh, this is why people believing that they've come back to the top of oppression to oppress people, to come back and do it. You see, look at his
This
arrogance.
is how they always felt.
This is how they always felt. But yes, exactly. Right? But look at this. Look at this, right? Let's go to this. Revelation. Let's go to Revelation. Right? Look at this. Revelation 18, verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself
Yep.
and lived deliciously.
Yep.
So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. This is exactly how America is behaving at this point in time right now. This is how America is behaving right now, as if they cannot be touched. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them.
Remember the last Bible study that we did, and I told you I had that dream a day or two ago, prior to us having a Bible study, and remember I was seeing flashes of this. After she left, she took off her veil, and put on her.
Widow's clothes again.
And what did you just?
And what? Let me pull that up for. Let me pull that up. Let me pull that up.
38:19.
Genesis 38:19.
All praises. That was the last Bible study we did. I think it was last Shabbat or Shabbat. That Friday or that
Look at that.
Thursday.
Look at these two things. After she left, she took off her veil and put on her widow's clothes again. Let me tell you something. America is about to be a widow, because there are many husbands then. But for left her. Right? We're gonna get into it, you know. We're going to get into it today, you know. We're not gonna have much time, or we're not gonna spend much time, but we're going to get into it today. We're going to get into it today, people. The opulence and arrogance that is coming out of America right now is not only stupid, but it's astounding. It is stupid and astounding to believe that you can just come up and say, like, America does not realize that it is not respected worldwide now. Blaming DEI for plane crashes that were caused by none. By the way, people, anytime you hear anything that's called DEI, just know that they're talking about black people. And it's always the most unqualified people talking about qualified things. The most unqualified people are always talking about the qualified things. And they come again about how if you were flying on a plane, would you worry about his color? I wouldn't even worry about his color. Especially when you're coming from Jamaica. Jamaican pilots are black. When you go into Jamaica, your pilots are black. There's no way they can fly that piece of equipment if they were not qualified. It don't make no sense. No aircraft, no company would want to go through such a lawsuit from any passenger. People are so stupid. Anybody that talk about this whole DEI thing, she or he is only hired because they're black, you are dumb. You're dumb. Because the company who hired them will have to face a lawsuit for their incompetence. EEO, Equal Employment Opportunities Act, was created because that regardless of somebody being qualified as a black person, they were still not being hired. Not only have we seen and even read evidences of this, of people literally telling you that they don't care if the person is qualified, they're not hiring them because they're black. We've talked about this. We've literally talked about this. People want to pretend like this did not exist. People want to pretend like racism did not exist. People want to pretend like Jim Crow era did not exist. You have white people that literally want to go on in life as if these things did not exist. No, what they actually want to do is pretend like they didn't do it and that people are making up imaginations and they just want to continue doing evil. See there again, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. You're about to see a bunch of sorrow in the coming months. Right? Let's move on to what California is saying right now. I mean, not California. Justin Trudeau.
Yesterday, he is still committed to placing tariffs on Canada starting as early as tomorrow, possibly. Now, we don't know precisely what that could look like, but I do know two things. First, if the president does choose to implement any tariffs against Canada, we're ready with a response. A purposeful, forceful, but reasonable, immediate response. It's not what we want, but if he moves forward, we will also act. As president.
For those of you who do not know what tariffs are, go look it up. Many people have explained it. I'm going to summarize it for you. A tariff is basically the country taxing the import that is coming in the country, making it more expensive for that person to import into your country. What does America import? I'm going to tell you what America imports, just like some countries. America imports fuel or petrol. America imports, materials. It imports, many things.
Things we don't even think about.
If you don't understand how export and imports work, I'm going to explain this to you people right now. Export is that a country sells its extensive products, basically what it has a overage of. So let's say for Jamaica, we export a lot of bauxite. So we don't have to worry about bauxite. That's not something that we would basically import. You understand? That's something that we would produce because we have it on the land. Bauxite and alumina is what Jamaica exports, as well as other products like sugar and things like that. We import fuel because we don't produce it back home. We import fuel. We import American products. We import Chinese products because we don't have it back home, and it's much cheaper to import it than to try and make it ourselves if we don't have it. What people don't understand is that if you tax imports, it's the people who pay these tariffs, they're just going to pass it down to the consumers. When these products get expensive, because the reason why you import too as well is to give your own citizens something cheaper that they can afford to buy. But when you tax these products, and now the citizens are obviously, because there's no company in this world, there's no company in this world that gets taxed and don't pass that down to the consumer.
Yep.
There's no company in this world that don't do that.
Edom is so damn prideful. They don't think about everything.
They don't. I keep saying it.
90% of the things that we have in America is not made in America. It's not like from the clothes on our back to the soap that we wash with.
It is not possible because America is a big place. Same thing with Jamaica. It's not possible for you to like have the clothing or have this and have that without importing it from somewhere else that can mass produce it. You understand? People don't think about these things. People think that you can do it. Well, okay, if you can do it, then do it and stuff like that. But just understand that it will not be affordable. And that was the whole reason behind importing cheaper products for for you to be able to afford them. If tariffs happen to Canada, Canada is going to do a measured response, I hear. Right? I'm hearing also that Mexico is going to be doing a measured response as well. The thing about it is that the US used to be able to just say something and people would just listen and people would just hear and people would do whatever the US would say. Now the US is basically saying something and people are saying F you, and if you do this, we're going to respond to you. Nobody is responding to the tactics of being bullied anymore by the US. Nobody's responding to it anymore in the way that the US wants them to respond. And with BRICS coming out, I don't know what's going to be happening to the US in these coming days. So people, you need to, as I said before, prepare for what is to come. Prepare. The Most High is preparing his people for what is to come. He's showing you that the end of Babylon is coming and great tribulation is coming, and he wants you to be prepared for it. Don't, especially people of the Most High, those of us who have awakened to the truth. You see what's going on? Do not go back to sleep.
Yeah,
Pay attention.
How could you go back to sleep after this?
You have some people that don't want to deal with it. You understand? In denial. They don't want to deal with it. Again, when you mass deport people who work in these industries and things like that, especially in farming, they went into a chicken factory and they pulled all the illegal workers.
Again. It happened in 2019, but it happened a couple of days ago as well. That's why we're not getting any
the thing about the truth about it is that Pennsylvania itself, I realize Pennsylvania basically produces its own food and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
but they still need help.
They still have to import again. Even between the states of the US, they import and they export between each other.
And it's not even so much that it's not even so much of that. Like I can't see, like, say if you have a family of 4, even if you have like 3 grown sons, right, and a fully able wife and a husband. Say if you have like 2 or 3 American workers, right, you are not able to pick up all those eggs from all of those chickens and clean them off and put them in cartons and get them ready for transport, even if you're transporting from state to not within state, you know? So I can't even imagine like what's happening to to the farmers. Cause even we were sorry guys, Salakia. Cause even before he got inaugurated, the farmers were actually concerned about what was going to happen because they straight up said he hired immigrants. Remember the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But these are farmers that voted for him.
and they
This
didn't
whole
realize
make America
that
great again. Now, listen, we are not against policies of deporting criminals. I think all countries, I really and truly believe all countries should have a immigration policy of how to get in and how to deport criminals or how to deport certain people, problematic people, stuff like that. I understand every country must have its rules, laws, regulations. Here's my thing though, especially with first class countries or first world countries. First world countries, they believe that their citizens have the right to go anywhere and do whatever they want, and nobody should like deport them or anything like that unless they've done something heinous. But third world countries are supposed to just like, oh, you just have to do this and do that just because we're first world countries. And then they expect and that's the whole thing. Remember how we used to call third world countries shithole countries. It's shithole countries, but a bunch of you are running to them.
Yep.
Shithole countries, but a bunch of you white people are buying up the lands on these shithole countries and driving the natives off their own land. And you still have the same attitude that you brought with you from the US to these so-called shithole countries. And that's the problem that I'm having. You understand the lack of respect for natives when you go to a country that don't belong to you. You pretend like the thing about Babylon is that Babylonians believe that they own everything no matter where they go. And they behave as such. And they're shocked and surprised when people don't treat them as such. No longer is anybody in any country rolling out the red carpets for you people. And I just told you this. Like, you can't expect to mass deport people like this. You can't expect, like, a lot of you like to vacation in these countries. Black and white, especially white people. Una having a little spring break in Cancun. What do you think is gonna happen to you? What do you think is gonna happen to you this Cancun?
Can you imagine?
Huh? What do you think is gonna happen when you vacation to these countries that you're deporting people from? I'm gonna say it again. What do you think is gonna happen to the people that are already there? You think people who are deported and you're disrespecting them on their way down, that when they go home they're just gonna sit down and chill and say, oh, I got deported. Well, it is what it is. You call some of them you're calling them criminals, you're calling them all sorts of names when it's just a lot. We know that it's not all criminals you're deporting. You're deporting people who basically they're trying to make a better living for themselves. Well, they broke the law. They overstayed the visa. They do this.
Why the price of eggs so high? I can't take this. What's going on? Why is strawberries so high?
Why is chicken so
Why
high?
is the chicken so high? What is going on? This is ridiculous. This is America. Make up your mind. Make up your mind.
That's always you understand? That's always like the line they have. This is America. Why is this happening?
This is a shame.
This is a shame.
What is happening to this country? It used to didn't be like this. Oh, let me go buy some chickens. Why are they $60 for only 10 chickens? This is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But they constantly biting themselves in the foot. I mean, they constantly shooting themselves in the foot. Like, constantly. And they don't even realize they're doing it.
Jamaicans saying them it's off them nose to spite them face.
They really are. They really are. And let's see what happens, because he said as soon as early as February 1st about the tariffs. And it's the first.
Mm-hmm. Let me do this TikToker. You guys know this famous TikToker and thing. Hold on, where's the volume for this?
I think you just turned the volume down.
Sorry.
DeepSeek is China AI that's outcompeting all billion-dollar American AI, such as OpenAI, Google's Gemini, Meta's Llama, and caused the stock market to crash. How much did it cost to make? While Google and Meta have spent over $50 billion with plans to spend more than $200 billion every year, DeepSeek has only spent $5.6 million. How was that possible? Just hold on! The United States has restricted high-power AI chips to China for years. They believe these chips were the key to being the world's technology leader, which is why they kept it from China. However, DeepSeek used less expensive, lower capability chips than bigger companies and still managed to outcompete them. So the stock market crashed because people are questioning if America will be the world's tech leader. See, DeepSeek has proven that pouring more money into a tech company doesn't mean a better product. What's even more impressive is DeepSeek was only created less than a year ago. What about the $500 billion AI project Trump announced? Nobody cares anymore! Last year, OpenAI said they need trillions of dollars of investment to run their AI products. They were banking on high-quality chips. However, China showed they can do it cheaper, quicker, and more effectively. This caused NVIDIA
Billions of dollars a couple days ago. Listen to me, people. If you don't see the writing on the wall, I think somebody else gotta help you find it. If you don't see the fall at what's happening right now with Babylon, I don't know what else to tell you. You understand? I mean, looking at it right now, geez, see, you can see right here, I have the DeepSeek AI right now, using the DeepSeek AI. This boy, I don't know even what to tell you, man. I don't even, and hey, people, it's free to use. You don't have to pay for it like how you have to pay for GPT.
Oh wow.
And it's more advanced than Chat GPT.
I bet.
Right? So let me tell you something, people. If you can't see the writing on the wall right now, I don't know what else to tell you. Babylon is falling, and you need to cut out. Again, this is going to be mainly about coming out of her, my people. Come out of her spiritually, and eventually we're going to have to come out of her physically when the Most High says, come out of her, my people, because just as how Lot had to physically had to remove himself out of Sodom and Gomorrah, we are going to have to physically remove ourselves out of Babylon right now. You understand what I'm saying? I hope you people really and truly understand the time that we're in right now. All right. I hope you people really and truly understand, man. This times are getting real dim, real dark right now. Real dim and real dark. I don't know if we're going to survive till summer. I don't know if we're going to survive till the end of the year. I'm not making any predictions on that. We just have to continue to pray, fast, observe, and, pay attention. We have to pay attention to what's going on right now. But that's all I'm saying. Again, I want to recap what we talked about. We talked about my dream about the planes and helicopters falling out the sky from an EMP attack. You're noticing that there's been a frequency of planes just crashing, aircraft just crashing. We talked about the tariffs. We talked about the deportation. People, just while you can, if you have money and thing, use your money. Start stocking up on your goods. I mean, we don't really have nothing right now. We wish we did. But we've stocked up in the past, and whatever it is. Right now, try to stock up as best as you can. Stock up on water. Stock up on canned goods. Stock up on dried goods too. Dried goods like oats. You understand?
You can eat them raw.
You can eat oats raw. You understand? Stock up on oats, and oats last. You understand? Stock up on oats. You understand? Stock up on try to buy warm clothing. Buy a lot of warm clothing too for when the winters come and there is no energy.
below Walmart clearance aisles and get like the little blankets and stuff.
I'll go to Goodwill and them places there and get them used. I don't care. Start stocking up on lighting materials, things that make fire. You understand? I have a thing there, a fire starter, and that I was practicing how to use it the other day. Start stocking up on things like that. Start stocking up on survival things,
Medical supplies.
medical
You don't
supplies.
have to go to like Walmart. You can go to like the Dollar Tree and just get a whole bunch of small little. But it's like
$5 thing there, the $5 med kits, them too.
oh wow, but
Man.
the med kits are fine, but sometimes you need like a lot of like alcohol just in case somebody gets cut. But you know what I mean? A lot of hydrogen peroxide, stuff like that. You need a lot of gauze, a lot of band-aids, Neosporin, stuff like that, Benadryl, ibuprofen, acetaminophen, just in case somebody catches a fever. Stock up on acetaminophen. That's the thing we can take being in pain, but fever is something else.
A fever from children, yeah, especially my children. I can't.
Or just in general, you need out of the two, get acetaminophen. Acetaminophen brings the fever, in my opinion, it brings the fever down better than ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is more for like inflammation.
Absolutely. Stock up on medicines. Stock up on books that teach medicine, like homeopathic medicines and things like that. The things that the so-called pharmaceutical companies hated you learning. Your pharmaceutical companies can't do that with Jamaican people, you know, because that's literally how we were raised on home remedies.
If anything, start making like your garlic and your honey. I'm chopping it up and storing it. Garlic can get you can eat a whole bunch of garlic raw, and you can get what is it? It can take out the parasites. I mean, do your research on it. You can go on YouTube and see what happens when a scientist puts garlic on parasites and how quickly it kills them. Like within like 10 seconds, they're gone.
We've been talking about this ever since I basically even, walked off my job. But like ever since I kind of got taken away at the point in time, and I've been at home, these things have been happening, and I can't help but feel that it was the Most High that basically say it's time for you to be at your house. It's time for you to be at your house, because ever since our car ended up in that situation and I've been stuck at home, whatever it is, these things have been happening, and it did not start happening until the Most High took me and put me in my house and say, stay your ass at home. I didn't do this on purpose, It's just like a series of situations that felt unfortunate kept happening. And I was upset about it too. I was upset about it, But these things keep happening, and it's just like, yo, you don't not to be afraid of being outside, but you have to be careful now when you go outside. You go outside, a plane might crash into you. Right? But I think we have to pay attention, people. No more this blind living type of thing. No more pretending that nothing is happening, nothing is going on. No more non-preparing for the Most High's return, for the return of our King. No more of that. Pay attention, people. Stop this foolishness of just like living day-to-day life. Say, yes, we gotta go to work. Yes, we gotta make our money. Yes, we gotta pay bills. Yes, we gotta do this. But please pay attention to what's going on. Be ready. Be ready for a contingency plan of if an EMP hits and you have to walk home, and it's gonna take you a day or two to get to your house because of how far you work. If it's gonna take you all night to walk to your house. Jamaicans aren't gonna make it back to their house easily because all we do back home is walk around. I told my wife this. All we do back home is walk around. Even when I first came to America, all I did was walk around. I didn't even take the bus or the train. I walked mainly. If I see somewhere I can make it in half an hour, I didn't take the bus or the train. I walked. I walked. Get used to walking around. Get used to walking to places. Make sure you know your house from if your car gets hit by EMP, you grab whatever supplies you have in the car and walk it to your damn house. Make sure you have tools that you are able to protect yourself and your family as well. You need tools. Don't live in this garbage type of life where people say don't get no tool or not like no, get tools. You need tools to protect yourself. You need the one that fires bullets and you need one that can hack limbs. Because believe me, it's gonna come down to that. A lot of people who did not prepare are going to come for your stuff. They're not going to die in peace and quiet. They're going to come and steal your stuff, and they're going to kill you if they have to. This is what it's coming down to. We are approaching this time. That's why Edom is now starting to cling to us, because they're now realizing that everything that we've talked about is true. And they're clinging to us not out of respect, not out of love, not out of understanding, but they're clinging to us to save their own lives. They're being opportunistic as they usually are. And who are more opportunistic out of them? The women. It's the women that are sounding this charge to cleave to us. The men are not going to cleave to us, I can guarantee you. The men are not going to cleave to us till the very last second.
And that's just half-heartedly to save their own asses.
Mm-hmm. And when they cleave to us, they believe that they're gonna probably just like cleave to us and be in control in some way, shape, or form. You understand? So please pay attention, people. Now is not the time to go back to sleep. Now is not the time to feign ignorance. Now is not the time to not pay attention. Now is the time to awaken out of sleep. The scripture says so. Now is the time, full time for you to wake out of sleep and pay attention to what's going on.
And the most important thing is I'm learning them laws, statutes, and commandments. Start learning them.
Mm-hmm. Learn the law, statutes, and commandments. Pay attention to them.
While you're at home. Look at YouTube if you have any questions. If you're not in a camp like us, we're not part of a camp or anything like that. YouTube is one of our biggest resources.
While you still have it. While you still have it.
And we're able, Google, because also we're able to find books, purchase books and obtain like historical facts and stuff like that. Use your resources. Anything that you hear online, always fact check it as best as you can. But this is time for all of us to just study more, learn to fast, because fasting is a great tool. It's not spiritually, but also physically, because when the stores run out of food, and us as Israel, we gone through times, especially when we were children, when we didn't have any food. We only was able to eat one meal a day.
No meals at all.
Or no meals at all. I was fortunate to have like a school program where they give us free lunch if you were lower income. So I was able to get free lunches, but not a lot of people aren't. It's just depending on what state you were in and stuff. But it comes a time where it's going to come a time when we're going to have to buckle down and buckle our stomachs. If we're going to try to fast now, when the economy is crashing, where they can't get any more chickens in the stores,
get no more snacks, no more.
Or it'll be like a 1 week type of situation. Like once a week they get their stuff in. You know what I mean? And but the stuff is so high just because of inflation. And you're not able to buy anything, or you're able to buy just a little bit of something. This is the time to start to fast.
It's gonna be like Jamaican style.
Oh yeah.
Jamaican style. And even Jamaica's economy is improving.
So this is the time to learn how to fast, because if you can go without food for 3 days,
Mhm.
your body will adapt to it. You
Mhm.
won't have a whole bunch of sugar crashes.
Um, we can guarantee you too as well, by the third day, your strength will return to you. In the first couple of days, you will get tired, you will get weak, but by the third day, your body will start eating the fat within your body, and it will return. Your strength will return to you because you'll be getting used to, not eating. And when I met my wife too, I also expressed to her that even before we started dating or anything like that, is that I wasn't used to eating 3 meals a day. I was only used to eating 1 meal a day because living the life that I lived in poverty and stuff like that. That even when I started to work and had and could afford eating more than 1 meal a day, I didn't, because it was such a ingrained whatever thing in my psyche. I didn't eat more than 1 meal a day. I ate 1 meal a day. You understand? If you see most of my photos, you will see that I was a very slim person.
Yeah, even like me, because I was working at some points in my life. At one point in my life, I was working 2 jobs, and I was going to. At one point in my life, as well, I was working full time and going to school at night, and I wasn't, just taking care of myself. I was, I think, 125 pounds soaking wet. I wasn't. I would eat like every other day, and I would just live off of coffee and like little like free cookies we would have at like the facilities and stuff that the owners and stuff would bring in for the staff. I didn't feel weak though. That's the crazy part about it.
Yeah, because your body is used to it. If you live that way your entire life, your body adjusts to it, and that's what we're saying. Is that if this is how you've lived your life, your entire life, it doesn't feel unnatural.
Right, but
It
to
just
eat
feel,
them is like
and you're fully functional. You're strong. You're this, because I was, remember, when we met, I was about 150 pounds, bench pressing 170 pounds. Now I'm basically 170 pounds, and I can barely bench press 130 right now. You understand? And this is what Edom does to your body. I'm telling you, as an ex-athlete, as a coach, you understand, as a gymnastics coach, like, I feel ashamed talking about stuff like this. You understand? Yes, we age and stuff like that, but you should be able to be at some semblance of normalcy, where that even if you're not able to bench press 170, I should be able to bench press 150. Or, as I gradually get older, it should probably just go down gradually. You know what I'm saying? And then looking at my father, who in his late, probably he can still bench press. I mean, anyway.
Yeah, but we say all this to say this: get your body acclimated to fasting. So when you don't have any food, because there's gonna come a time before we all are gathered in wilderness that you may not have any food, or there's gonna be a scarcity of food. As long as you got some water, you will be fine. Your body will get used to it. Sugar crashes as much.
Eat those dried foods, those oats. Eat those oats. Eat those oats, man.
Yeah.
Make soup out of tea. Make tea out of leaves. Get some leaves. Find some leaves. Find some cherry tree leaves.
And
make tea out of that.
And that's the thing. Start stocking up on sugar. You can keep sugar forever. It may get hard, but you can keep sugar.
Yeah, because you can always, like, even when it gets hard, you can always just knock it and then we'll get back.
Or once you mix it with water, it's fine. Start stocking up on your dry goods, because y'all remember what happened during the scandemic, when there was no bread in the stores.
People were buying all sorts of stuff and didn't even know how to make bread.
It pissed me off because you know me. I make so much roti, especially when I started learning how to make Jamaican food. I was proud to make like bust up shuts and all that other stuff. Like I was happy doing that. And then the pandemic hit, and I couldn't do it because it was no flour. And then I look online, and these Edomites are like, oh, I bought all this flour and I don't know how to bake. What do I do with it? I was just panicking because There was no flour and there was no bread in the store. So
Yeah, Edom is the most unprepared, and that's why I told you that they are going to cleave to us because we're the ones who know how to do with little. So they're gonna, like, for their very own survival, they'll probably come and try and they'll beg us to come and actually live in your house. Because they know that to live in your house, they'd actually be able to survive because you'll cook, you'll be able to show them how to survive. No, we're not into that.
we're not doing that no more.
We're not doing that no more. Don't save none of them.
We're not teaching you how to preserve your meat. We're
Yeah,
not
yeah. You go save yourself and them thing there. You have survival people out there. Go to your people and them thing there. Black people, especially, those of the slave trade, and those who were indigenous to the land and were slaves and them thing there, had to get it out the ass. You understand? They had to make do with pig entrails and cow entrails
and make it taste good.
and make it taste good and survive off of little to nothing.
And this is a slap in the face. All the stuff that we grew up with that was deemed to be like slave food is now so expensive. Chicken wings. Nobody wanted chicken wings.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted the leg and the thigh and the breast.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted the chicken wings. They used to be like dumb cheap. It was I think like $10 for 4 pounds
Mm-hmm.
in the Philadelphia area. Now it's paying like $28 for 4 pounds. It's ridiculous. Oxtails. We are, like I said, we live in the Philadelphia area. Maybe like 2 pounds of oxtails is what, $25?
All because of Edom and their fantasy of our food.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's slave food. Oh, why would that? And then all of a sudden, slave food is becoming
So
so
delicious.
popular and so delicious.
Like, listen with that.
So, people, prepare yourselves for what is to come because I can guarantee you the Most High is going to continue to pour out His Spirit upon everyone, young and old. And He's basically going to tell you, you're going to start getting the urgency to start preparing. When I woke up this week, I woke up Tuesday and I said to my wife, I have a huge dread about what's happening. A huge dread. I couldn't shake the feeling. Went on YouTube and many YouTubers were saying the same thing of feeling this feeling of dread. Just they couldn't shake the feeling.
I started to feel it the moment he got inaugurated. It's like something happened in my body. It was like a sense of urgency of despair. Not because it's like the Republican and Democrat. We don't care about any of that stuff. It's about what's happening. We can see
In general,
we can see what's happening right in front of our faces. It's not about
politics. It's not about politics. It's about politics in terms of what they're doing.
Yes,
but it's not about we don't have a side.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't trust government. You should, and as Hebrew people, you're not supposed to trust government. Scriptures tell you that you're supposed to obey God. If government goes against God, you're supposed to obey God, even if it takes your very life. Anyway, people, that is going to be the Bible study today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for, listening. Thank you guys for paying attention. I hope you guys are preparing. I hope you guys are praying, fasting, keeping in contact with the Most High, keeping in contact with your family, having a plan about what's going on right now. Because let me tell you something, things are about to get worse. That's all I can say.
Things about to get worse.
It's not gonna get any better.
Labor pains is coming.
Anyway, people, enough love and respect. Peace. We are out.